Me. Foul. Face off. Foul. Ready. Fight back!
34 years have gone by when our favorite characters from the Karate Kid finally decide to show up once again to take us on a trip of insane nostalgia. With the story of the past and the current production team, Cobra Kai has become one of the most popular sensations on Netflix. We all have been amazed and starstruck by how the show has turned out on screen. But are you not curious about how it would be like to catch a glimpse behind the curtain? Are you not itching to know whether the behind-the-scenes moments are as exciting as the on-screen scenes themselves? Well, stick around as we are about to dive into some of the behind-the-scenes secrets of Cobra Kai. But before we get into it, do me a favor and smash the like, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell button for notifications whenever a new video is published. Now, get ready to enter the dojo, and at the end of this, you might find yourself catching flies with chopsticks. Cobra Kai might have been a big hit, but actor William Zabka was hesitant at first to go back as the role of Johnny Lawrence, or as Barney Stinson would say, the real Karate Kid. This dilemma may have been because he was typecast in a series of related films. After the show's success, this dilemma was shaken off when the actor finally stepped back inside Cobra Kai's dojo, which he enjoyed and loved doing. In an interview, Zabka said that he is glad he decided to return and that he is excited to have been able to work with his old co-star, Ralph Macchio, whom he had shared a special bond. Macchio is also happy to be back in the dojo. He praised the writing staff and the show's new young actors for bringing the Karate Kid world into a new younger audience's heart. The fact that Zabka had kept up with his martial arts training since the days of the Karate Kid helped him make the transition back to the character smoother. Despite not being the vivacious young man he once was, Zabka continued to spar and practice on and off, eventually achieving the rank of second-degree green belt. His co-star Macchio, on the other hand, had ignored his training since Karate Kid. Although he was still an ambassador for the art, he was rusty when he returned to Daniel's role and had to catch up quickly. However, there is a noticeable gap in the sharpness of the two images in the first season. Still, now that Macchio is back in the game, a showdown between the two becomes an even more tantalizing possibility. As previously said, Zabka is no longer the young Karate Kid he once was, and he discovered this the hard way when he was involved in a minor accident on set. Zabka claimed in an interview that he pulled his hamstring during the first fight scene, but that is not all. He even claimed to have broken his toe after jamming it and claiming that it went straight back into his foot. Ouch! That has to hurt. Despite being in excruciating pain and having to crawl off to the side, Zabka kept filming the scene and carried on like a soldier, which, to be frank, I think is in perfect consistency with the role he is playing. Let us all remind ourselves that Cobra Kai is not all just about the star-studded cast. The show has incredible action scenes, and I mean genuinely fantastic. Those stunt performers were used for more dangerous moves. The real actors were still heavily involved in the fight scenes. They were all beginners to martial arts, much like the characters they played, and with that, they were perfect for the roles, just like a blank canvas, ready to be turned into a beautiful painting. Hiro Koda, the stunt coordinator of Cobra Kai and another Netflix series, Stranger Things, ran into a crisis. But it's not the one you might be thinking. Despite the novice status of the actors and them supposed to be learning martial arts as they went along the film, the actors picked up the moves quickly, too quickly in fact. Koda said that the actors were becoming too good at martial arts, that they were outperforming their characters. Isn't that amazing? Well, I guess idolizing the characters may not be as different as idolizing the actors themselves. As a result of the actors' fast learning abilities, it had to be toned down, which is an excellent issue. This may be related to the actors' erratic and strenuous training routines. Solo Maridueña, who plays Miguel Diaz's role on the show, said he has a 2 to a 4-hour training schedule that includes advanced stunts, boxing, martial arts, strength training, and yoga to stay in shape. Solo said that it is the most challenging thing he must do. Jacob Bertrand, the actor for Hawk, spends 25 to 45 minutes in the makeup chair to have the makeup team apply his signature back tattoo, with the amount of time depending on how often he runs around in a scene. But that's nothing compared to the time he spends on his mohawk, which takes an entire hour to complete. A whole 60 minutes for a hairdo. That is an incredible mohawk Now that is an hour well spent. One of the things that makes Cobra Kai so popular is that it continues to be its own unique thing, while paying adoring tribute to the Karate Kid series that inspired it. This is because it was made by Karate Kid superfans John Hurwitz, Josh Heald, and Hayden Schlossberg, who expertly placed a variety of Easter eggs from the original film. One of these appears in the first episode, which features a battle scene between Daniel and Johnny from the 1984 film and previously unseen scenes from the film. One of the best things about being in a famous TV show or movie is that you get to keep some of the treats and props. Like Mary Mouser, for example, the Samantha actress was allowed to keep the clothes she wore on the date with Miguel. This is due to Mouser's lousy health condition during the cast photo shoot. As a result, the costume designer allowed her to have the outfit. The episodes of Cobra Kai contain a great deal of detail and coded context. The series titles include Ace Degenerate, the first episode of Season 1, which links to a line of dialogue from the original movie. Cobra Kai and Karate Kid have a well-established and devoted fan base. A famous member of this said fan base is Will Smith, who grew up as a fan of the original movie and enjoys it so much that he's now a director for Cobra Kai. Of course, one of the most enjoyable aspects of Cobra Kai is the show's epic fight scenes. However, they can put a lot of pressure on the actors in them, particularly Peyton List, who plays Tori, who didn't have a lot of time to practice for her fight scene, which made her anxious shooting. Despite that, she could still perfectly show off her character's top-tier martial arts skills. One scene was during the fight at the mall. In an effort to defy gravity, she leaps into the air and does a flipping kick. She succeeded, but with the assistance of a tight-fitting wire that aided her in the stunt. Nevertheless, we cannot imagine any fans being upset over learning this truth, since the move looked so severe, natural. So, let's get back into Easter eggs. In Season 1, Episode 2, Miguel asks Johnny if there's a sure way he needs him to wash the windows, to which Johnny responds, "I don't give a shit." Except he doesn't say shit. This is clearly a reference to a line from the original film. We mentioned it before, but it also shows the difference between Johnny's and Mr. Miyagi's teaching styles. Although Cobra Kai is set in Los Angeles and shoots some of its scenes there, the show is actually based in Atlanta, Georgia. In fact, Atlanta is the location of the Cobra Kai Dojo. The cast reportedly warmed up to the city quickly, with Mouser claiming to have fallen in love with a burger joint named Fred's, where she eats nearly every day. Who knew a burger could be beneficial to the martial arts training? What's in those burgers exactly? Guess I'll be kicking and punching later with all these burgers I'm eating. Personally, if I ever get to visit Atlanta, I will definitely visit Fred's. And if you are a Cobra Kai diehard fan, you most probably will too. Now, let's talk about the famous epic fight scene at the end of Season 2. The fight scene, which took place in a school, was shot on a fast deadline with just 4 days to complete. They intended it to be a one-shot take, similar to Daredevil's hallway battle scene. This means that there will be no camera or acting cuts. The actor only had 2 days to prepare the choreography of their movements due to the time limit. Actors will have to immediately exit the scene and disappear behind the extras as their stunt doubles took their positions in the scene. Mouser received a nasty injury during that scene after misplacing her hand and taking a bad hit, which sent her to the ER. Mouser returned the next day to finish the shoot, but that's nothing compared to Tanner, Kane's stunt double, who reportedly has 2 false front teeth that were knocked out in one fell swoop when he hit his head on the floor. Later on, we see Solo kicking a railing, but it seems that he kicked a bit too hard, causing him to smash it. I'm curious whether he was placed in detention for that. Well, those are some of the scenes of the series Cobra Kai. What were your thoughts on these behind-the-scenes secrets? Are you a loyal fan of the show? Have you come to love the backstage as much as the on-screen scenes? What team are you rooting for? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Before leaving, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell button for notifications on our future content. With that being said, see you in the next one.